Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now I take it you all know what these things are. A good old mobile phone. In the paranormal world, quite a controversial subject. There's someone there that say the mobile phone just cannot do anything with ghost hunting, that it's all fake, all mumbo jumbo. And there's other ones out there that swear by these things. Personally, I think they can be used, but you've got to bear in mind that at least 99% of apps out there are rubbish. So, how do we use a mobile phone in such a way that it can show proper communication? Well, that's what this video is all about. There you go. I've got the mobile phone. It's a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. It's on airplane mode. I'll just show it up by zooming into it. There you go. You can see the airplane symbol there, right next to the 93% battery symbol. So that is on airplane mode. But if you watch the K2 meter, you'll notice that the K2 meter is actually activating still. Just see if I can pick up again for you. There you go. So, if you are doing an investigation and you are after a K2 meter trying to give you a reading on whatever might be in the room with you, or out and about with you, then you'll now be getting lots and lots and lots of false meter readings. That's the first problem why you can't use a mobile phone. Now, we're going to crack on, and I'm going to show you another problem. There we go. I've now got the Necrometer app on the mobile phone. And this is another reason why I say you cannot use a mobile phone for an obelisk style app. Now, I've got the ACES screen recorder running on the Necrometer as well. And I've got my voice recorder next to it, you can see that working. Now, the Necrometer comes with a meter for EMF. I'll just show you that, that's on there. You can see as my phone gets closer how it's affecting the meter. So even the meter gets affected by EMF coming into its field. Now, I'm just going to flip this over.
Henry.
Now you've got the word Henry come up. I've noticed that when you're using this app, within the first 5 minutes you do get a random word come up. But let's just see if it was a random word. Henry, if that was you that brought your name up on this app, please can you bring up the word Henry again for me, please? Can you bring up the word Henry again?
Flaking.
Flaking. Well, I don't know about you for yours, but it doesn't sound like Henry to me. And it doesn't sound pretty much as if it's anything to do with this investigation. Okay, so, spirits, where am I? What is this area known as? Just for those of you who don't know where I am, I'm in North Village Cemetery, in the usual spot. Just do a quick 360 for you, just so you know. There you go. Back down to the device, you see my water bottle there. Come on spirits, what is this area known as? You can either say graveyard or you can say cemetery. Come on, spirits. Come on. Come and speak to me today. It's Richard. You've spoken to me quite a few times in the past. True to say that sometimes you can get right on my tip when you don't say nothing.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. What about 8 o'clock? What's happening at 8 o'clock? What's happening at 8 o'clock, spirits? What happens? Does anything happen around here at 8 o'clock? Do you mean my 8 o'clock, which would be over there? Come on, spirits. Don't be shy. One more word.
1 spirit.
Okay, so we've got 1 spirit here. 1 spirit. So we've had Henry, flaking, 8 o'clock, and 1 spirit. This is meant to be an obvious device. Spirits. Last word I want you to bring up, please. I would like you to bring up the word cemetery. Can you bring up the word cemetery for me, please? Cemetery. Can you bring up that word for me, please? Cemetery.
Triangle.
Okay, so now we've got triangle. So I'm just going to turn this off a bit. Okay, so here's what science says. In a mobile phone you have sensors and accelerometer, big word to say that, and a manometer. The accelerometer, that is the one that does all the vibration kind of stuff, and the manometer is the one that measures the EMF or the magnetics around the device. Now imagine, if you would, and I'm not a developer, I'm only going with what a developer has told me about how he does these apps, but imagine, if you would, the K2 meter. Got 5 lights going across the top. Now you can see them there. And as an EMF triggers this device in various intensities, what it will do, it will light up the lights. And that's how a K2 meter works. It's also how an Ovilus works, and an Ovilus app. Great. I don't personally believe an Ovilus works. They are very expensive pieces of equipment, but I have no experience of them, so I haven't gone out and bought that particular piece of equipment. Perhaps if I did having to get my hands on one day, and I went out there and I said for 5 words to come up, and those 5 words came up, then I might change my mind. As it is at the moment, personally, my own feelings, I do not believe a novel is worth the money. Now, let's go into apps. The app is made, and instead of having 5 lights like this K2 meter has, you have 2,500. Instead of lights, every time one of those areas gets activated by EMF or vibration or magnetometers or whatever gets activated on a particular piece, then it will bring up that word. If, say, for argument's sake, that piece is activated for half a second maybe, something like that, and it will activate that word. Now, I've been told by the developers that it's possible for the spirit to read the list and then choose the word they want to give you by activating up to the required energy level, EMF level, to bring that word up. Does that make sense? If that made any kind of sense at all, that argument, why do we not get symmetry? Why do we not get words relevant to what I was asking for? Henry, I asked you about the word Henry again. We know it's in the bank because it came up. Why could you not bring it up again? Personally, I believe that the apps you can get for obelisk style apps don't work. I think psychologically what you're looking at is words coming through on the app, and you're trying to fix up a story around those words. So it's like there, we had Henry come up. The last word was triangle. Well, this sort of area where I am, it's a triangle with rough edges, but it is a triangle. And if I was that way inclined, I could turn around and say that Henry was trying to tell me that we're meeting in a triangle. What about the other words that are thrown in? So, personal opinion, apps don't work. Don't trust them on a mobile phone. 99% don't work. The obelisk style apps don't work in my mind. This is my own personal opinion, and I'm saying they don't work. Another thing you've got to take into consideration is that every developer is going to have a different list. So you might well get 2.5 milligaze being activated on one mobile phone using the micrometer, which was just used, and on another phone, say for argument's sake, you might be using the overbox, which has another list. Both devices might be activated to 2.1 milligaze, 2.5 milligaze rather. That words are not going to be the same, because no developer is going to have the same list, or if they do, it's going to be a coincidence. Something else to take into consideration when you're looking at these apps. Now, why do I say then that a mobile phone can be used? Because it can pick up vibration, and it can pick up magnetics and EMF. Therefore, if you were to use an app which is a purely EMF meter, PBE Inc., they have a very good one that you can use, then yeah, you can use a mobile phone. Bearing in mind, again, as proved earlier on this, that a mobile phone will activate a K2 meter and give it false readings. So, conclusion time. Should we use mobile phone tech in a paranormal investigation? Okay, well, with the club, my club, the Hampshire Ghost Club, the answer will have to be no. Reason being is, number one, the phone will activate different devices, K2 meters, anything like a delicate piece of equipment maybe that's recording, anything like that, it can interfere with that piece of equipment and give false readings. So when you're looking at whether or not you to use a mobile phone when on an official investigation with the Hampshire Ghost Club, the answer is no. When I'm out and about on my own, that's totally different. And I'm going to show you now why. Again, as previously mentioned, you can see why a mobile phone cannot be used in an official capacity in an official investigation. Even though I changed the app, it's still affecting the Bob standard K2 meter. So once again, this would be just flying out of the room unless you had no other pieces of equipment in that room, then you might be able to use it. It is an EMF meter app. It's using the manometer in the mobile phone. Here I have my PSB7 and it's got batteries in it. So let's just see if this can pick up batteries. There you go. So there you go. Does the K2 meter pick up batteries? But you can't tell because the mobile is doing so much interference, you can't tell what's mobile and what's battery. But if I was on my own and I had no other way of doing a baseline reading and that was the only piece of equipment I had, then yeah, you could quite easily use that app. Yes, thank you, Rich. I think that's explained that reasonably well. But I'm just wandering around, see if we can get anything. I found a nice little place where you can set up, out the way of the wind. And while we're doing that, right, we've got some bars there, just there. Don't know if this is going to pick those bars up or not. Yep, there you go. You can see that. There you go. That proves that it's picking up the bars quite nicely. This used to be one of the old stair rails. And it goes right up there. Okay, so you've seen how you can use a mobile phone with an EMF app to get your baselines or to find out where activity may be. This is what we call the U-Ghost box. It's another app. There's no sound banks in this app, you make them yourself. So when you buy the app, it's blank. On here I have recordings of my PSB7T, the S-Box, the Radio Shack 3587. Just for this video though, I'm only going to load up the one channel, and that is the PSB7T on 150 MS FM sweep as a forward sweep that it was recorded on. And I'm going to compare this after this little bit with the actual physical PSB7 back at the cemetery, and I'm going to just show how the PSP-7 1 doesn't interfere with the K2, and 2 sounds are something like this. For now though, I'm on a dog walk, I'm in the middle of Dashwood, and I'm in the exact area where I've picked up communication before. So let's see if the spirits are in a chatting mood today. So spirit, hello, my name is Richard. I've got my dog with me, Leo, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would step forward now and communicate with us through this device just here. Perhaps you could start by telling us how many of you are here with us. Okay, rest assured that if I can't hear you in the real time, that I will hear you on playback. So anything you have to say to me, just say it and I will eventually hear it, if I don't hear it now. Probably the best way of working this is to hold this end of the device in your hand, or move your energy into that hand. Say what you want to say, then move away. And then repeat for further communication. That's probably the best and easiest way for you to use this. So, could you please step forward, the strongest one among you, and either say hello or tell me your name. Okay, so this imitates the physical PSP-7 spirits. The PSP-7 is a well-known ghost box that we can use to communicate with you, and this is a recording of that. Can I ask please, what do you think of this? Do you think it's a good way of communicating with you? I have a dog with me. Do you know your dog breeds? If so, can you tell me please the breed of my dog? Are you aware of what season of the year that we are in? If you are aware of what season we are in, can you just please say quite clearly the season that we are in? Useful tip here is to hold the device in your hand and speak slowly and clearly. Then we might be able to hear you a lot better. So what season of the year are we in currently? And now we have the obligatory helicopter flying overhead. Don't know where he's off to. Okay spirits, I'm going to close this session down because I'm only demonstrating how this app works, and I want viewers to hear how a physical PSP7 works, the way it sounds like, compared to this. Just going to wait for that helicopter because he's circling back round again. Being really annoying. Yep, he's gone straight overhead. Okay, spirits, perhaps you could tell me please, who is the current reigning monarch of Great Britain? Okay, that helicopter's circling around a bit. It's a little bit annoying when I'm trying to do this. It's going straight back over the top again. Maybe it's lost. Okay, so for the final little bit here, spirits, do you have anything at all that you wish to tell me? If you have anything at all that you wish to tell me, please just step up and tell me now. Okay, these woods are apparently containing some evil people, some evil spirits. If that is right, and there is some evil spirits here, please let us know. And here he comes again. And there he goes. Probably be back again shortly. So, the rumour has it, spirit, that there are evil spirits in these woods, that there's some kind of evil here. Is this true? Yes or no? Well, there you go. Can you use a mobile phone app to go ghost hunting with? I've already shown you the EMF and now I'll show you a ghost box. I think it sounds pretty good, and I think that it's possible to get communication off of that. There you go, guys. That's the new ghost box. I think it's a pretty good recording of the PSP7T. The 4 channels on there means that you can record just whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a spirit box, it can be anything you can put on there. Any sound bank, you can mix them up, whatever. If I wanted to, I could do a kind of a PSP11 thing. I have 2 PSP7s running, one on AM, one on FM. Or I could, yeah, a minute ago. Or I could mix them up a little bit. Have a RadioShack 12587 running alongside a S-Box, alongside a PSP7, and alongside the RadioShack 2125. Mix them up. I like the app, and I think it's pretty diverse. Now we're going to go back to the cemetery, and Leo's getting impatient, so I'm going to be carrying on with my dog walk here, and I'm going to show you what we can get with the PSP-7T at the cemetery. Hi spirits. My name is Richard. Very pleased to meet you today. Can you do me a favour, please? Do you think you could just say hello? Rest assured that if I can't hear you in the real time, I'll catch you on the recording and the playback. So please just say whatever it is you wish to say. Appreciate those who say hello really loudly and clearly. This is just a quick video. I'm just showing my viewers a few ideas that I have. Do you think I'm barking at the wrong tree, spirits, or do you think that the things that I've said here today are valid? The device in the middle has lights in it. I think it might have gone off. No, it's still on. So the device in the middle has lights on it. If you move your energy around that device for say a second, it will light the lights up. Is it possible, please, that you could do that for me now? Can you light those lights up for me? Let me know you're here. Thank you very much, that's very kind of you. Appreciate that, thank you very much. Just so my viewers believe that the K2 meter is activated by you and not by anything I've got, please can you just light those lights up again for me? Can you do that again, please? I think there's a little flicker there. Can you try again, please? Just as good as what you just done, please. If not better. You just need to build your energy up and just move your energy into the top of the device and it will record you. That's brilliant. Really appreciate your help there. If you still want me to talk to you, thank you very much. You must have read my thoughts, because I was going to say that if you still want me to talk to you, light the lights up. And before I even finish, you lit the lights up for me. Brilliant. Do you have anything particular that you wish to talk about? Anything at all? I have a question for you, if you don't mind answering it. I mean no offence by answering it, by asking this. What keeps you here? Can you tell me what keeps you here? What keeps you here? Can you tell me? If you wish me to carry on speaking to you, then light your lights up. There we go, 2.5 days in the K2 there. Brilliant, thank you. Well, my name is Richard, as I said. Can the strongest spirit among you please step forward and tell me your name? Barney. Barney, what's that? Just to remind you that if I can't hear you now, I will hear you on the playback, so just say whatever it is you want to say. What do you think of the PSP7? That's the spirit box side of things. What do you think of that? Good way of chatting to you? You wish for me to come down here and continue to talk to you in the future. You can either answer that on the box, or you can answer it by lighting up the lights. Okay, so I'm going to close this session down and count to 5. If I hear the word bubble very clearly, I'll stay here and continue to talk. So we're looking for the word bubble. Otherwise I'll count down from 5 and I'll leave. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, well I can see the K2 meter flickering, but you didn't hear the word bubble. This is your last chance. I could have been bubble. Please repeat. I'm sure I just heard bubble there again. Okay. Not much longer then. What do you want me to do for you? What do you want? Okay, look, I'm not really hearing you. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to tell me what you want. Then I'm going to pack it all up and go on the count of 5. So, say what you want. I will hear it on playback or through the recording, and then I'll come down here and see what I can do for you. Is that a good deal? So I'm going to give you a little bit of time now to tell me what you want. Okay, spirits, I'm going to count down from 5 now. Would you like to count down with me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. Goodbye. So there you go, guys. Throughout the course of this video, I've shown you how a mobile phone affects sensitive equipment and therefore cannot be used in an official capacity on an official hunt. Secondly, I've shown you that apps are out there which can be used, but at the same time I've explained that 99% of the apps are rubbish and don't work and they can't be trusted. And thirdly, on the scientific front, I've explained the manometer and the accelerometer and the fact that they can measure the same things, but because of the way apps are built, they can get different readings. So I've explained some of the apps, and I've shown you some of the apps that work alongside these sensors. So yeah, when you're purchasing an app for a mobile phone, if you feel that way inclined, take into consideration the sensors and what that app does. I've also shown you the PSP7T and the fact that it doesn't interfere with the K2 meter. You saw that yourselves on the video, and that because of that fact you can get Spirit to activate the K2 meter for you, which further validates the fact that you're talking to a spirit on the ghost box. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and it shouldn't be too long before the next one comes out. Might be with the club, might not be. And only thing to say now is take care, everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.